Hello everyone, Douglas here and welcome to my Doctor Who review, and today I will be reviewing Time Crash. This story is the second minisode, and this story is the fourth story to be written by Steven Moffat. And this story features the return of the fifth Doctor, played by Peter Davison. The last time we saw him was in his last story, The Caves of Androzani, and I don't count dimensions in time. Our cold open scene begins where we left off from when we see the 10th Doctor, played by David Tennant, saying goodbye to Martha. We see the TARDIS takes off, and it is out of control, and the Doctor manages to get it under control. And we see the 5th Doctor, and we see both the 10th and 5th Doctors see each other, and they say, "What? What? What?" Our opening scene begins, and we see the 5th Doctor ask who the 10th Doctor is. I love the 10th Doctor's line when he says, "Yes, you are the Doctor." Another good line from the 10th Doctor when he says, "Oh, there it goes, the frowny face, I remember that one." I love how the 10th Doctor says, "The hat, the coat, the crickety cricket stuff, the stick of celery." We see the 5th Doctor tells the 10th Doctor to shut up, and we find out from the 5th Doctor there is something wrong with his TARDIS, and he has to do something about it very quickly. A funny line from the 5th Doctor when he says, "And it would really help if there wasn't some skinny idiot ranting in my face about every single thing that happens to be in front of him." We see the 10th Doctor apologize to the 5th Doctor. A funny line from the 5th Doctor when he asks the 10th Doctor this, "What have you done to my TARDIS? You've changed the desktop theme, haven't you? What's this one? Coal? It's worse than the leopard skin." We see the 5th Doctor put on his specs, and I love the 10th Doctor's line when he says, "Oh, and out they come, the brainy specs. You don't even need them. You just think they make you look a bit clever." We hear the alarm go off. We find out from the 5th Doctor, level 5 indicating a temporal collision. We find out the two TARDISes have merged. We find out from the 5th Doctor that's a paradox. It could blow a hole in the space-time continuum the size of Belgium. We see the 10th Doctor offers the sonic screwdriver to the 5th Doctor, and he says no. A good line from the 10th Doctor when he says, "Oh no, of course, you mostly went hands-free, didn't you? Like, I'm the Doctor, I can save the universe using a kettle and some string. And look at me, I'm ruined a vegetable." The reason why the 5th Doctor is hands-free is because his sonic screwdriver got destroyed in the Visitation. We see the 5th Doctor ask who the 10th Doctor is, and do you have a feeling that he is recognizing himself? And in a funny moment when the 5th Doctor says, oh, no, you're a fan." And that was so funny. We see the 10th Doctor is telling the 5th Doctor that he is him, and the 5th Doctor says, "Kay, you're my biggest fan." We see the 5th Doctor mentions Linda, and he is wondering if he is a part of Linda. We hear the cloister bell goes off. We see both Doctors are working together, and we find out from the 5th Doctor in less than a minute they are going to create a black hole strong enough to swallow the entire universe. We find out from the 10th Doctor that was his fault actually. He was rebuilding the TARDIS, and he forgot to put the seals back up. We find out from the 10th Doctor he knows how this all works out. We find out from the 5th Doctor he is going to blow up the TARDIS. And we find out from the 10th Doctor that is the only way out. I like how the 5th Doctor asks him, "Who told you that?" And the 10th Doctor replies saying, "You told me that." We find out from the 5th Doctor supernova and black hole at the exact same instant. We find out from the 10th Doctor explosion cancels out implosion. Matter remains constant. I love the Fifth Doctor's line when he says this to the Tenth Doctor. I never met anyone who else could fly the TARDIS like that. We find out from the 10th Doctor he didn't work it out. He didn't have to. We find out from the 5th Doctor the 10th Doctor remembered. I love the 10th Doctor's line when he says, wibbly wobbly, and the 5th Doctor says this along with the 10th Doctor, timey-wimey. We find out from the 10th Doctor the TARDISes are separating. We see the 10th Doctor ask the 5th Doctor where he is now. I love how the 10th Doctor says Nyssa, Tegan, Cyberman and Mara, and Time Lords in funny hats, and the Master. Oh, he just showed up again, same as ever. I love how the 5th Doctor asks, does he still have the Rubberspield? We see the 5th Doctor is fading away, and we see the 5th Doctor says goodbye to the 10th Doctor, and the 10th Doctor brings him back, and I love the 10th Doctor's line when he says, you know, I love being you. Back when I first started, at the very beginning, I was always trying to be old and grumpy and important, like you do when you're young, and then I was you, and it was all dashing about and playing cricket, and my voice going oh squeaky when I shouted. I still do that. The voice thing. I got that from you. Oh, and the trainers, and snap. And we see him put his glasses on. 'Cause you know what, Doctor? You were my doctor. I know David Tennant is a Fifth Doctor fan, including Steven Moffat, and you can tell it's both Moffat and Tennant saying that they are fans of the Fifth Doctor, and that is a touching moment. A good closing line from the Fifth Doctor when he says, to days to come, and the 10th Doctor says, oh my love, too long ago. And we see the 5th Doctor fades out, and we hear the 5th Doctor telling the 10th Doctor to put up his shield, and we see the Titanic crashing into the TARDIS console room, and that is the end. I will say, I consider this minisode as a classic. It was great to see Peter Davison back as the 5th Doctor, and he still got it. I did love the 10th and 5th Doctors together, and I have to mention that not only Peter Davison is David Tennant's favorite Doctor, but Peter Davison is the father-in-law to David Tennant. And I bet that was a dream come true. I got to tell you this. So, back in 2007, I was at Chicago TARDIS with my dad, and I got to see Peter Davison. And someone asked him what it was like to return to the show. I remember Peter Davison said that he was on a vacation in Spain, and he had a beard, and he had to shave it off to do the filming of Time Crash, and I remember he said he had fun doing it. I will give Time Crash a 10 out of 10. So that is my review of Time Crash. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel, and I will see you next time, where I will be doing the time of year again, ranking of the stories.